This is gonna be interesting, seeing as this is airing just about a month and a half after Palworld came out. I'm curious to know just how many people in this thing are actively coping and seething right now. Hello everyone, this is VGMaster2, and it is that time again! Time for Pokemon to become a year older, reminding us how old we are, and destroying our remaining brain cells with their incompetence in the meantime. It's time for another yearly anniversary Pokemon Presents. Yay. You know that most of this is going to be full of bullshit updates for their garbage mobile games, that they're going to drag out for as long as humanly possible, yet say fuck all about, yet that is going to be at least 50% of this thing. I can't wait for them to waste my time. I'd say knowing is half the battle, but somehow they still manage to surprise and disappoint at the same time, every time. As is customary, this presents was announced a week in advance, February 20th for February 27th, obviously 2024, and that's it. So we can just jump right in, right? Well, before we begin, we do have quite a bit to discuss, really mostly revolving around what the fuck is happening, and what will what's actually happening mean for the future. Here's what the best case scenario is. Nothing. I'm not kidding. The best case scenario is if we get nothing. Second best case scenario, more Scarlet and Violet DLC. Worst case scenario, literally anything else. Of course, I'm talking about projects made by Game Freak. But let's go over our options. More Scarlet and Violet DLC. I will not be the first to tell you that these games feel unfinished, and not just in the development sense. While I hate dropping generalized opinions about something, especially knowing my actual review of this thing is, frankly, decades away at this point, the Indigo Disc story was ass. Terapagos literally appeared in the last 5 minutes, you beat his ass, catch him, and that's it. There is a whole list of setups that were never paid off from both base game and Teal Mask, not even counting any of the shit from the epilogue, which I won't list off here to prevent wasting even more time. And many have said that Mochi Mayhem doesn't feel like the end. Shit, they only gave us Pecharunt's backstory and directly detailed his relations and role to the other fuckers in Teal Mask in a YouTube video, which makes it not canon because it's an outside source. It's not actually content in the game and is easily fucking missable, which is really fucking scummy. It's even worse for Terapagos when you realize that that's what they're probably doing with him and the anime, which is worse because that means instead of missing a 5-minute YouTube video, it means I have to slog through multiple dozens of 22-minute episodes, of which the dub is months behind the original fucking airing. It's a problem. Except, what if it's not? I bring to you Exhibit A. Back before the DLC was even confirmed, there was a post that actually revealed that there was going to be a DLC called The Hidden Treasure of Area Zero, which is obviously what the DLC is actually called. However, the post also said that there was going to be a second DLC that I believe was also specified to come out in 2024 called Hexagon. Now, please remember that while Hidden Treasure came out in 2, technically 3, parts, it has always been touted as one DLC, just in multiple parts, shown by how the credits never technically rolled until after completing Indigo Disc and them including Teal Mask. So it is one. So any DLC that comes after would actually technically be DLC 2. Also recall that the physical edition is not the definitive edition, as it does not include Indigo Disc on cartridge, which, you know, defeats half the point of even getting it. But how do we remedy that? add more DLC, then release a physical edition with everything on the cartridge. We also actually have Exhibit B. One of the most prominent leakers had said that there were going to be 7 new Pokemon in Teal Mask and 8 in Indigo Disc, counting Petch. This was true. However, he also said that there was to be another Pokemon, which he has more recently clarified is to be a second mythical to tie in with the very late 24th movie, which also might be revealed here too. Obviously, unlike Petch and unlike Zarude in Gen 8, there is zero fucking data for this legendary in the code, which means there would have to be an update, at which point it could be part of the update for this hypothetical second DLC, and it being the only new Pokemon of this DLC would still make sense if this DLC is more of a story-based DLC meant to pay off all the setups. At least Terapagos is if the Hexagon name is any indication, and that would be great. So, if we don't get nothing, this option would definitely be optimal. But then we have the other option, anything else. Now, I have made my opinions on this very clear. If there is a new game this year, I have resigned myself to the fate that it and/or Gen 10 will be absolutely fucked and shit. And as much as I'd really like nothing or more DLC, since they're the only options that don't affect Gen 10's development too much, and even though there is some proof that there will be more DLC, given Game Freak's track record of never being able to go a year without taking a massive diarrhea dump since 2016, or getting someone else to do it for them, this option, while being the shittiest for the series' future, is the most likely. But what are these options? They are as follows. Faithful Gen 5 remakes, possibly made by Ilka, Black and White 3, Gen 5 remakes with a denotation Paradox, implying a remake with radical changes in order to include more bullshit and/or crystallizing, Gen 5 Legends, Gen 2 Legends, Gen 2 Let's Go. Yes, I am not bullshitting, these are all, or most, of our options for what might be this year. And it's pretty funny, because not only can no one agree on what it's gonna be, they can't even agree which generation it'll be for. Fucking nice. Which actually leads me to believe that maybe we won't have to suffer through any of it. But that might just be copium. Now, if it's Ilka, then it'll just be shit, but it would technically mean that Gen 10 wouldn't be affected, which means that is actually the least bad of the worst case scenario. Anything else would be made by Game Freak, which would mean splitting their staff up, which would mean significant everything would be taken away from Gen 10, which would probably still fuck that over even if Gen 10 is getting an extra year to be released for the 30th anniversary. It's just not a good idea, as I've outlined in previous videos. But yeah, that's what we have to contend with today. So let's finally hop right in and seal our fates, shall we? We begin with... Fuck, it's Crystal, isn't it? God damn it. Anyway, Ishihara. Anyway, I'm skipping to the news. In Scarlet and Violet, there are going to be Terra raids for the Kanto starters. Pokemon Go is doing shit for the anime. I don't care. Also, I think this was data mined already, so this isn't even news. Pokemon Sleep exists. The legendary cats are coming. Fuck, they are gonna do something stupid for Gen 2. Well, at least it's better than artificially pushing up the Gen 5 remakes. Granted, they might do that too. Master Sex. Costume for Silver, Gita the Utterly Incapable is coming. Master Shit is always getting announced, and they always update the game at the end of the month for the next month, so we know all this. Please move on. Though, to give them credit, they're breezing through this shit. Cafe Remix. Gimme Ghoul's line is coming. This was actually announced the morning of. Pokemon CCP. Miraidon's out. Phalanx and Ceruledge are coming. Miraidon was revealed on the 21st and leaked with Phalanx weeks ago. This is old news. Though I gotta say, I love how you know which bitch in the pair is more popular, because Zacian was included while Zamazenta wasn't, and now Miraidon is coming with no Koraidon to be seen. Fucking rip, lol. And with that, we're done with the mobile games. 7 minutes. Holy shit, are they learning? But also, what the fuck does that mean they're cooking? Next, they revealed the new TCG app after they'd closed the last online TCG thing. I'm sure it'll be predatory as fuck. It's called Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket, slated for sometime this year. Then they waste time regurgitating the trailer, so they haven't learned that much. Anyway, next. Oh, last thing? The fuck? There it is. Whatever it is, it's Game Freak, so they fucked Gen 10 just with that. What the fuck is this? We see... Wait, why does this look like France? Why are there so many Gen 6 Pokemon? Lumio City? Pokemon Legends? Z? Z minus? Z minus, what is that? A? Z through A? In 2025? Megas? You fuckers. You're wasting development shit for Gen 10, making another Legends game, which means you actually did the thing I talked about in a previous video and started a new Legends immediately after the last one like a retard, skipped Gen 5, jumped to Gen 6, which... why didn't you do that last year, are actually technically giving us Z, even though it's a spin-off, but still, and are finally bringing back Megas? What the fuck? And that's it. They end it with that. Okay, only 12 minutes. Weird because there was a source that said 25 minutes, but whatever. Less of a waste of time, I guess. No new spin-off that isn't Legends, no, the card thing doesn't count. Nothing for the anime, no, the Go shit doesn't count. No new movie, no new mythical, no reminder to do the Petch quest. This was clearly a rush job, and Z through A isn't even coming out until next year, which, now that I think about it, is actually kinda optimal. They didn't announce Mochi Madness before Indigo Disc dropped. Maybe they're saving Scarlet and Violet shit for later? That might be cope. But holy shit. Just goes to show, Pokemon is on a wavelength no one can predict. Probably because they're on the most retarded wavelength possible, but still. Also, me remembering that Kalos is the region right next to Paldea, so potential shared lore, possibly paying off some Terrapagos setups, probably also cope. I'm hoping that this game coming out in 2025 means they are keeping Gen 10 for 2026, but we all saw what they did last Legends, so maybe they don't care about the anniversary. But this does mean that they might actually be keeping the Gen 5 remakes for Gen 10. And since Legends Arceus came out almost in tandem with Budspa, it means Legends don't replace remakes, which also means X and Y remakes may still be possible in the far future. Did Pokemon Company inadvertently manifest a scenario between best and worst? Did they do the third best case scenario? They might have. Well, I can't say I'm not intrigued. Not fully on board, but definitely intrigued. Which feels better than the guttural rage from when they announced Budspa, Legends Arceus, and Scarlet and Violet. Damn, this could be interesting. Could. Probably won't be, but maybe? Just don't ruin Zygarde. Please. Also, let's just ignore how the Nintendo Twitter account, not Pokemon Company's, said this game takes place entirely in only Lumiose. That has to be a lie. I refuse to believe that they would do a Kalos game only to have it be localized in one fucking city. I mean, that would explain the quick development time, but also, fuck that. I am coping so hard that this is a mistake, dude. Don't give us hope just to immediately do that. But that is it. Given how this isn't even coming out until next year, I have no idea what their pre-release schedule is gonna look like. I'll be here to give opinions on any Scarlet and Violet or Legends Z through A news, or any presents, but other than that, that's really it. And given how they usually wait months until after they announce something to really start their hype cycle, and how more Scarlet and Violet shit probably isn't coming at this point, which would actually kinda mean Game Freak is very possibly not taking a diarrhea dump this year after all, I guess that means I have time to focus on my other shit. Well, I guess with that said, I'm VG Master 2, and I hope to see you next time.